Hello again, higher class. Welcome to week 2, lesson 2, which is actually just your second period of the day because you have a double lesson. Both of you, girls class, this should be period 2 on the Monday, and for the mixed class, this should be period 6 on the Tuesday. Hope you found the last lesson okay. If you didn't do it, you must do it before you move on to this lesson. So today's lesson is all about evaluating the data gathering methods. So now that you've completed the data gathering methods, you need to be prepared to answer the following question that the SQA, which will be us, may ask in your future assignments that we give you in school to gather evidence. So this is the kind of question they might ask. It's evaluate a data gathering method you use to gather information on a factor. Now obviously the question will specify which factor it is, but we're only going to go over one today. So here's a bit of an evaluation recap. So to evaluate something, you must be talking in the past tense. It's done. So you should be talking about it having been done. All of the tests, you usually do them as well, so you have experience of them, so talk about them having been done. You're trying to break down your answer into the following. IJV. Identify, judgment and value. So your identify section should be something that was good or bad about the method that actually happened. The judgment should be make a judgment about it. What did this cause? And the value should be what increased or decreased about this. What increase, decrease or even maintenance did this cause for you? So remember, evaluation is IJV. And here's your answer structure for IJV. For identify, you should be starting with it was good or it was bad as. For your judgment section, you should be saying so. And then for your value section, you should be saying meaning. What was the impact on you creating a good PDP or gathering accurate data to create a good PDP? Or about what did it mean for you moving on to improvement? Was it quick, slow? Is it holding you back? Anyway, let's look further into it. So tip, depending on what actually happened, your answer may seem similar to analyze answers, but make sure it's past tense and completed under IJV. However, you did these methods. Evaluate what actually happened. You did them. Be honest. This will make it more memorable for you when you're putting this into practice in the future. You shouldn't have to think or make it up. You should be thinking, how did this affect me? I want to move on to development quickly. I want to have accurate data to base a PDP on. So, today's task. We're going to evaluate a method used to gather data on the mental factor in softball. This is concentration, and we use the focus and concentration test. You should do it in your jotter if you've got your workbook home with you, or on a piece of paper. Keep the work, you need it for the next day's lesson. So, here are the identifications or possible identifications for the focus and concentration test when evaluating it. Choose 4 that were relevant to you and your experience. If there's something on there that is relevant to you that's not there at all, put what's relevant to you. If you find something different about it that was good or bad in terms of getting accurate data and allowing us to move on to our PDP, add it in. But you should be able to get 4 out of here. Now, some of them are good and bad, and they're flipped, so you can't use it was good because it was a permanent record, and you can use it was bad because you can't use it was bad because it didn't become a permanent record. That would be flipping your answer. So it has to make sense. If you're saying something's good, it must stay good. You can't flip it and then make it was bad because it didn't become a permanent record. That doesn't mean that some parts of it weren't bad and some parts of it weren't good. You just can't flip what you've said. So, here they are. So you could have said that it was good because it became a permanent record. It should have done. You should have kept it. Hint, hint. So I shouldn't be seeing many. It was bad because it didn't become a permanent record. That's nothing to do with the method. If your dog ate it, that's not the method's fault. It was good because it was portable. Were you able to take the test out of a busy, noisy area in your house? Or are you stuck at a kind of desktop computer you can't move? It's in your living room? That's up to you. You can choose it was either it was good because it was portable or it was bad because it wasn't portable. so make it realistic to you. Choose the one that's right for you. It was good because it had no equipment to set up, or it was bad because it had a lot of equipment to set up. If some of you wanted to print it off but you didn't have a printer, the Word document wasn't working online, be honest, tell me the truth. Was it good or was it bad in terms of equipment? You could say it was good because it was my own opinion. That might be good for some of you. You might say it was bad because it was my own opinion. I had to submit the marks to my teacher online. I don't want to look bad. So be honest when you pick that. You could say it was good because it was easy to understand, or you might say it was bad because it wasn't easy to understand and Mrs. Kennedy was too busy talking to someone else to help you with it, so that might not be good. So choose 4 ones that are right for you about what actually happened when you completed the focus and concentration test. Or if there's a separate one that you got for yourself, you can choose that one as well. So pick 4, write them down under I, but remember to leave space for J and V below them, so space them out. Pause the video, pick 4. Next section. Now we're going to do the judgments for the focus and concentration test. So based on what you'd answered prior, you need to pick the ones that were right for you, the judgments that you make on your identifications. Now they're jumbled up, so I'm not going to talk through them, but the 2 of them are together, so I haven't jumbled up the good or the bad ones. They remain together, so you need to pick the right one that matches whether you've said it's good or bad. So this is where you're saying, so I was able to answer without making any mistakes, or so I wasn't sure I was able to answer it without any mistakes. Oh, I've made a wee mistake there. That should be a little bullet point there, so I'll be able to use it to track and monitor progress. That should be in the next line down. I shouldn't be seeing many, so I won't be able to use it to track and monitor progress because the method should be permanent. You should have been able to save it on a piece of paper or in a document. So it was good because it didn't take long to complete. So it was bad because it took a long time to complete. That's up to you. Did it take that time? But choose the right one to match up to the right identification. So I was able to take it to a quiet place, or so I wasn't able to take it into a quiet place. That was your judgment for one of the identifications you chose there. Again, that was up to whether you did manage to find a quiet place or not. So I was able to answer it with full honesty, so I wasn't sure I was comfortable enough to answer it with full honesty. So those are all your judgments there. Match them up with the right identification that you chose. So this is your next letter J underneath your I's, okay? Right, pause the video here and give this a go. And here are your values that you can match up to your identification and your judgments. So what increased, decreased, or maintained as a result of your judgments then? So here are your examples. Again, they're mixed up, so you're not just picking them out and matching up with the same one. You've got to think about it before you write it down. The good and the bad are together, though, remember. So, meaning my results will be reliable to create a reliable PDP to start improving. So there was an increase in reliability there. Meaning I will know if I need to make changes to my PDP to keep improving, or the flip of that. So there is an increase of knowledge in terms of knowing that you need to make changes there. Meaning I'm now ready to move quickly on to creating a PDP to start improving, or the opposite, so there's an increase of speed in getting to move on to create your PDP and to start improving. Meaning my results will be reliable to create a reliable PDP to start improving. Now there's 2 answers which are the same here, which obviously is going to match up to one of the other ones, so it's not a mistake. There's meant to be 2 there to show you that if you chose these 2 things you can use the same answer twice for the value. Again, an increase in reliability. And meaning I was able to give full concentration to get reliable results to base a PDP on. Not to base a PDP on, but to base a PDP in, or the flip side of it. So there was an increase in concentration. So what increased, decreased, or maintained as a result? So make sure you do this today, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to do tomorrow's lesson. I don't want you to submit it into an assignment today, because it took me about 3 days to mark 58 of your answers. So we're going to have one big assignment at the end of the week this week, because 58 answers 4 times over, 6 times over, took too long. So make sure you do this today, because otherwise you won't be able to complete the task at the end of the week. and you won't be learning, so make sure you do, and you're going to check and change your work tomorrow. Anyway, that's today's lesson. Take your time doing it, obviously pause, go back and do it again, and you can talk to each other and you can talk to me online. I am online. I'm here to talk to you, don't be quiet.